Okay, so now we kind of look back a little bit into like the historical tradition, like after this Mass has been instituted, what happened? So we can see from the earliest historical sources, like the Didache, which has been dated back to the 1st century, that the apostles offered the Mass. Quote, being assembled on every Lord's day, break bread and give thanks after confessing your sins, that your sacrifice may be a clean one. For it is the sacrifice of which the Lord has said, in every place, at every time, a clean oblation shall be offered to my name. There's chapter 14 from the Didache. Then we also see in Acts chapter 2, verse 46, that the apostles began, quote, breaking bread from house to house. So they took this instruction by Jesus to do and perform this sacrifice in commemoration of him through the breaking of the bread of his body and blood. They took this seriously and started doing it from house to house. Okay. So that's kind of a brief, relatively brief, it's a long video, overview of our Catholic understanding of the Mass. And I really hope that through this video you learned something. If you're non-Catholic, I hope you get a better understanding of our teaching and why we celebrate the Mass and why it is so important. And then for anyone that's Catholic, if you never really understood what is going on at the Mass, I hope this helped you kind of understand it a little better, and can help you the next time you go to participate and understand what's really happening. Again, I want to bring to mind that card that I brought up at the beginning. It's heaven breaking into earth. Christ is offering himself up so that we can receive the graces that he merited for us on Calvary. Okay? It's a beautiful, beautiful teaching. For anyone who is still curious about the reality of the Mass or skeptical, there's numerous miracles that are associated with the Eucharist that have been scientifically examined and tested and can't be explained. Instances where the sacred host, the Eucharist, actually became living heart tissue with, quote, typical indications of the final phase that precedes death. And this has happened multiple times, actually. So it's really interesting to read about. So if you are curious about that and want to read more about these Eucharistic miracles that have happened, I recommend reading Eucharistic Miracles of the World by Cardinal Raymond Leo Burke, Raffaello Martinelli, and Reverend John A. Hardin. He does a good job looking into a lot of these Eucharistic miracles and the scientific investigation that went into them. And if for anything, it'd be an informational read, kind of interesting just to read about. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I know it was really long, but I really hope that you learned something from it. I've fallen in love with the Mass so much, and I want to help communicate what's really going on to Catholics who don't know what's really going on, and to help non-Catholics as well understand why we do this. Because it's like I said at the beginning, it is the source and summit of the Christian life. We get to receive Christ himself every single day if we go. It's beautiful, and I really encourage, if you haven't been to a Mass, and you're interested, it'd be worth it. At least take what I hope you've learned here, put that on your heart and think about it while you're there if you want to. And for Catholics who may not be going to Mass as often, I encourage you to try to go more frequently if you can, because the graces that we get through the Mass can transform us. It's this channel through which we can access that inexhaustible fountain of pure grace that Christ has merited for us. As always, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or want to learn more. Believe it or not, there's actually a lot more to the Mass that I couldn't talk about in this video. So if you're curious about that or want to learn more, feel free, reach out to me. I'd love to talk about it. As you can see, I love this. This is who I am, and this is what Christ has given to us, and this is the beauty of the Catholic faith. So I hope it at least opened you up your eyes a little bit to why we do what we do, what the Mass is, why we celebrate it. So yeah, I hope you all have a great day, and God love you.